Welcome guys, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and enjoy the video. I did just spawn in, so let's go. Checking out the surrounding area, the houses did not look abandoned. In one of them there was a chest with a wooden sword, some 45 ACP ammunition and also a steak. Walking around, I quickly found a cow, decided to kill it for its hive and also meat, and then in one of the houses I did stumble upon my first zombie. I was very lucky that he was all alone, because this zombie, as you can see, actually took quite a bit of damage. He was really difficult to kill, and he also dropped some leeches that I had to get rid of. Looking outside the window, I did notice a grave robber outside walking the streets, and that is really good because I did not encounter him when I was on the streets myself. He would have completely obliterated me. It was already evening, and I did decide to actually wait out till that zombie kind of disappeared, and upon entering one of the buildings, I did encounter a very weird chest. It had just random piles of blocks, and it was like a super weird chest to spawn in. I did pick up every block assortment that I could, but I'm not sure what I'll use it for. Walking around some more, I did also encounter a chest with a gun, an M1911 with a few bullets. This was actually a really good upgrade from my wooden sword. As they say, I feel safer already with it in case any zombies do pop up and try to eat my brains from nowhere. Running around in the night, I did encounter some zombies and they were just piling on me. There were so many of them. It was actually a really big horde, and I did actually want to find myself a nice place that I could sleep in. My ammunition is limited, so I had to choose my shots wisely, but upon entering a building, I did find a very safe one. And this concludes the first day, and the first day was actually a really good day. I did find quite a bit of loot, killed a few zombies, and also found myself a bed to sleep on, but the zombies wouldn't go away from the windows, so I had to sleep the night here. I already decided that my future base should be barricaded really well, so the zombies would never attack me while I sleep. On the next day, I did continue looting nearby buildings. One of them was actually really interesting. It was built from like very weird material and also had a very compact and small interior. The corridors were really small, but there was a chest in one of the rooms, and the chest also had an iron chest plate, some shotgun shells, and most importantly, a backpack. This backpack perhaps is one of the coolest items you can actually find because it does offer you capacity to actually hold lava and water, more inventory space, and most importantly, an inbuilt crafting table. All in all, it does not take up any inventory space, but actually provides you more of it, so it was actually a really cool find. There are also different colorings of backpacks, and I got the regular one. At start, this house did not look promising because it was really overgrown and also abandoned, but looking inside, I did find one chest with a really cool item. It was a shotgun, and luckily for me, I did find shotgun shells before. There was also a light sleeping bag. The shotgun turned out to be a double barrel, and it does absolutely insane damage to the zombies. While I was running around on the outskirts of town, I did actually manage to get myself surrounded by a pile of zombies. It was a horde of zombies that actually tried to eat my brains and kill me and end the video, but luckily I did survive because of this new shotgun that I did find. Either way, the shotgun did not have enough ammunition for me to like kill all of the zombies, so I did have to use my ACP M1911 pistol. Nighttime set in really quickly, so it was about time for me to hit the sack. But upon entering a house, I did feel uneasy because any zombie or even survivor could have completely obliterated me in such tight corridors and corners. But luckily for me, I was equipped with weapons, and that was no threat. I did also wear some iron pieces, so I did feel safe. Sleeping on a bed feels more natural, even though my backpack does have the capability to allow me to whip out a sleeping bag. Either way, I got really lucky these past few days because there were no mutant zombies attacking me. I saw them only from corner around corner and on random streets, and they did look really scary. For an encounter with them, I'm gonna need a lot better equipment. The next morning, when I did wake up, outside I did notice the big grave robber again. And it was actually a very, very scary moment because there was a whole horde of zombies around him. But I did decide to man up and actually kill this guy. And to my surprise, he was actually really easy to kill. He only took a couple of shots from my shotgun, and he was nothing like some other mutants that I saw wandering the world. There are some really scary guys out there, but this guy, he's not such big of a threat as he poses with his significant size. But nevertheless, he does spawn in hordes of zombies around him, and that does cause a major threat, especially if you can't run if you have like broken legs or low health. Running around some more, I did actually loot up another building, and one of them did have some food for me and also some ammunition. And to my luck, I still don't have a crafting table for the ammunition for the weapons. So right now I'm relying on finding ammunition inside of chests. But to craft ammunition and guns, you don't need much, you just need a weapons crafting table. And then you just need a few iron, some maybe gunpowder, and that's literally it. So when I do find one, I'm gonna have practically endless amounts of ammunition, and the hordes won't be as scary. Nighttime hit pretty quickly, and I was still looting buildings. In one of the other buildings, I did finally find the crafting table for weapons and ammunition. Finally, this was the golden moment. This is probably better than finding actual diamonds. So I quickly crafted myself some ammunition, I picked up the workbench, and headed off. This night was different because instead of sleeping, I decided to actually run around and maybe loot and craft some stuff, because perhaps the chest spawn rate is a lot better at nighttime. I was just trying my luck with everything that I could, but it seems it didn't really help me. The zombie hordes were massive and they were waiting for me beside like some sort of arena. Upon getting rid of the horde, I did decide to actually get myself into a safe area. So before going off to bed, I did actually decide to think to myself on what I should do on the next day, and I did come up with a plan on sort of to get even more materials, more supplies, and that will actually allow me to build a base of my own. Finally, maybe the time has come for me to get a super protected base against the zombie hordes. The next day, I did actually put down my crafting table, and I did decide to actually craft myself some shotgun shells because I did run out. But upon doing so, I got attacked by a witch, and the witch actually do high damage when they scream in your ear. Luckily, I did get myself like some guns, some ammunition. I did get rid of her, because without guns, it's practically impossible to survive in this world. This is super hardcore survival. Running around some more, I did actually stumble upon a fire station, and inside the fire station, to my surprise, there was a grave robber and some more special infected all around the area. This area was actually pretty dangerous, and I'm gonna mark it on my list to never come here again, because this area did spawn in not only regular zombies, but also quite a bit of witches, grave robbers, and all other sorts of bad things. Luckily, my shotgun with me helped a ton, and that's because it does absolutely insane damage. Running around the world some more, I did stumble upon a PC store. That means they sold computers, and it seems that I did once could have been here purchasing a PC, my new gaming PC to play video games and all that good stuff, but not anymore because the zombie apocalypse hit. Now I have to survive. That's the only thing on my mind. Of course, I did check the building for some more loot in case they were hiding maybe an M16 somewhere, but it seems they did not. In one of the buildings, there was a very long corridor and the Skeleton King spawned in. That's right, the Skeleton King, the boss already. So I did decide to try and kill him, although I did have really bad loot, and he can practically one-shot me, or two-shot me, you know. But yeah, I still have a wooden sword in my inventory and just a few guns. But luckily for me, the guns were really good, and I did manage to cheese my way through and kill this guy. The fight was very long and very dangerous, and I had to waste all of my ammunition on him. I did also had to run off and regen my health back up in case he did decide to one-shot me somehow, but luckily for me, I did manage to kill him, and he did spawn in a chest with some amazing loot. What caught me by surprise was the crown, a literal crown, probably that he wore. I also got a few emblem of the kings and some sort of war item. I'm not sure what it does, but I will use it in the future. With it, I do feel a lot safer and more secure. And it does have the enchantment effect, which is actually really nice, and it does look really pretty in the darkness. So I guess I did kill my first boss, and it was absolutely insane and difficult. Running around some more, of course looting some stuff, I did also stumble upon one of the motel rooms, and inside of the motel room, I did check the chest, and the chest was actually filled to brim with amazing loot, especially the M4. The M4 was actually an automatic rifle, and it's gonna be a great upgrade from the pistol and also the shotgun. With this, I can finally defeat even more zombies, and I feel even safer with bigger hordes roaming around the city and causing major threat. It seems I'm gonna have to get even more gunpowder and even more iron nuggets to craft M4 ammunition, because with this automatic rifle I'm gonna be spending quite a bit of it. Upon entering another random building, I did find a bed, and finally I can lay my feet to rest and enjoy this night, because this night I did actually make some good progress. I found some good loot and some good materials. I even found an M4, which is going to be great in the future. Continuing to explore the buildings, the next day I did stumble upon one of the amazing finds I've ever gotten. It was actually a netherite leggings piece. That's right, a netherite leggings piece did spawn inside of a chest. It was the most luckiest drop of my life, I felt like it. And I did also find a vest, which is going to be protecting me against the zombie bites and maybe even possible gunfire if I do find some bandits or other survivors who won't look friendly to me. Either way, I'm getting pretty good loot and I'm getting really lucky so far. So I think it's about time maybe that I do start building a base in the near future to protect myself and all the loot that I found. Running around the world some more, I did also stumble upon an airport, and the airport actually did have some good loot, but not only that, it did also have quite a bit of zombies, and that's because I guess the proximity of the buildings was not near, the terrain was really open, and the zombies could spawn easily and then also see me easily and get to me and try and attack me and kill me, and yeah, it was just a mess overall. There was a slime I couldn't get off my face for the life of me, but either way, I did survive, and I did actually manage to get out alive. I did enter the airport, and the airport did actually have quite a bit of zombies, but not as much as the outside world. It leads me to believe that the airport was actually abandoned for quite some time, maybe from the start of the pandemic or the apocalypse, the virus. Some corridors were closed off by what seems like it was the military, so something green like green wool, green grass, and that did give me actually hope to find some good weapons, maybe a military M16 or a sniper rifle or even an RPG rocket launcher, who knows. But either way, I did run around the building and there were quite a bit of zombies everywhere. Luckily for me, I still prefer to use my shotgun because I don't have to spend as much resources on crafting the ammunition as much as the M4, because the M4 is like a 3-hit kill, while the shotgun is only a 1-hit kill. One of my childhood memories is actually looking at airports fly off from the airstrip, and luckily for me, I did actually manage to look at the airstrip, but there was one slight problem. It was the zombie apocalypse, so this was definitely not the way I imagined airplanes taking off and the airplane management control tower giving directions. Not in a zombie apocalypse when there's no planes and only undead roaming the airstrip. I did notice that I was actually running out of ammunition and decided to craft some more. Thankfully, I do have enough resources to craft myself some good ammunition, and I'm also unluckily encountering quite a bit of hordes and wasting all of it instantaneously, especially with the M4, because the M4 is an automatic weapon. It's a resource eater. Every shot that I do, it's like 5 iron per second. Now, if I was a miner, that wouldn't be a problem, but instead of mining, I actually loot ammunition and materials and resources from chests, and 5 iron is actually quite a big number for me. Roaming the airport some more, I did actually stumble upon another Skeleton King spawn. So yeah, that's right, the Skeleton King did spawn in one of the hangars, and he started jumping and attacking me and throwing his hammer at me, and my screen got blurry. I did lose quite a bit of health, but I did decide to actually continue shooting him with my weapons. Luckily, I did just craft enough ammunition, and I did manage to actually kill him. Even the big hordes around him did not help him, because I had enough ammunition. I did actually have to run around and run inside corridors, cheese him, regen my health, and then actually attack him again, because the weapon was effective, but not as much as my health was decreasing from his attacks. So it takes like 20 seconds maybe for me to spray fire and kill him, but he also kills me in 5 seconds if I just stand in one place, so I have to kind of cheese him still. And after getting rid of him and also his horde of zombies, he did leave a chest. And the chest actually had some different type of loot. It did have crowns, but it also had a helmet piece. And the helmet piece was actually really cool looking. It made me look like some sort of animal, like some sort of upper being, you could say. I felt I was a lot more stronger with it on my head, and it did look actually pretty. And overall, I am really happy that I did go to the airport to kill this guy and get his loot, and also upgrade even my armor. Although I did waste quite a bit of ammo doing all of this. Running around some more, I did also find another chest with some ammunition. I believe I can't use the ammunition for my current guns, but I did also pick it up because you can never have not enough ammunition in case I do find a gun that does take it. Although there was some also ammunition for my shotgun, and that's because you can never have enough ammunition, even though I can craft it myself. But yeah, the evening was setting in, so I had to be really careful from now on. From the workbench, I decided to craft myself an upgrade for one of the guns, the M4 preferably, and that is a scope. Hopefully the scope will increase my accuracy and also increase the amount of zombies I can kill with like one magazine, without wasting too much ammunition. The scope actually looks super amazing. I think it's like a hollow sight, I'm not sure. But either way, it does increase my accuracy quite a bit. I can already see it being really useful in close encounters and also long distance shooting. Roaming around the world, I did also notice that a small zombie pack started attacking me out of nowhere, so I thought this was a perfect place to actually test out the new scope that I got. The new scope on the M4 is actually really good, and which also practically nearly killed me there, but I did actually decide to actually shoot her with my M6, and the scope again, it proved to be so useful, it was amazing. But one thing I don't like about the M6 is also it takes a lot of ammunition every time I shoot it. It's so powerful and good, but you just need so many resources when shooting it that maybe it's not yet time for me to use that as a full-time weapon. Perhaps it's better if I stick with a shotgun for close encounters, just to save on the resources. I continued searching the surrounding area and I did encounter a vehicle. It was a bike, a Sanchez, a dirt bike that spawned in. And the dirt bike was in pristine condition, although there was one slight little problem. It had absolutely zero fuel. No fuel at all in the trunk, and that means I'll have to get some fuel and fuel this baby up before I can actually drive it. As I walked into a completely dark building, I heard some sounds. I think there were quite a bit of zombies in the other room, and I did decide to actually get rid of all of them, and the zombies did prove to be quite dangerous, because in such tight quarters, tight spaces, they do cause actually quite a bit of damage if they're in close proximity, and then they bite you, take a piece out of you, and you don't have enough time to kill them. Inside the room itself, there was a chest with a gun attachment, a jerry can, and also some food. This is actually really good because the car that I just found needs fuel. I'm not sure if this canister does have any fuel, but I will try and use it and maybe fill it up by a near gas station. When vehicles spawn in nearby chests, jerry cans, wheels, seats, engines also spawn in. That way, when you find a vehicle, you can always be certain that if you leave the surrounding area completely, you will find what you need to repair the vehicle. Luckily for me, I did find a jerry can. I did manage to find a gas station, and the gas station itself was actually really big. But that was the problem, because a big gas station means an open terrain, and open terrain means very high proximity of mob spawns, and that means there's just so many zombies. So much that they actually lowered me to really low health at one point. The fact that it was raining did not help me, because the visibility was really bad. Either way, I got attacked by like 5 witches at the same time, but I did manage to get the fuel that I needed. I spent the whole night fighting off zombie hordes, but when I was done, I did look around and found a literal pump with some fuelium in it, and this fuelium is exactly what I need to fuel my dirt bike with. I then spent the whole day trying to get back to my dirt bike, but I did manage to finally find it in the evening, and yeah, I managed only to fuel it up a little bit before the zombies started attacking me. The thing is, at nighttime zombies are a lot stronger, and with time as you progress during the difficulty increases, and that means the zombies are really strong now, despite me having really good armor. In the end, I again managed to only fill up a little bit of fuelium inside of my dirt bike, but that was enough for me to actually drive on to safety with it. All of my effort into getting this dirt bike up and running did not go to vain, because in the end, I got the bike and it was absolutely amazing. This city actually has some really wide roads, and this allows me to actually traverse practically all of it at immense speeds. This brings to a whole new chapter. I did travel and encounter a beach. This beach was actually really empty. This vast open space did make me think that I can actually build my base here, and that's exactly my plan. I do have a backpack to store all the good loot, the materials that I'll need to craft this house. So to build my own house, I did actually decide to go into a little bit of a criminal world, and that means I'm gonna steal someone else's house and basically plant it on my own. So that means I stopped beside this house because I really like the bottom terrain. The ground blocks are really beautiful, and I'm gonna pick them up from this house because I reckon no one will need them here. They are very unique, and I think they're gonna look very pretty at my base. I started breaking the blocks and also defeating any zombies who dared attack me while I was collecting all of these blocks. Quite a bit of time went by, but I did manage to collect all the materials that I need to build the house. And the house is actually going to be really pretty, especially seeing that it's not going to be made from wood, but actually made from very unique materials that I found out all around the world. Also, traveling on this dirt bike does bring me peace because I no longer have to actually traverse the land by foot. I just get on my bike and enjoy the road. I started flatlining the floor on the beach for my base to be on, and this was actually a really difficult task, primarily because it took so much time and so many materials. But either way, you need this to get a good base, and I know that I need it. Luckily for me, I will be the person living inside the base, so it's gonna be super amazing. After I got done with the ground leveling part, I did decide to actually get myself a fence going, and the fence did look super amazing in the end. I picked it up piece by piece from other buildings and other materials around the world, and yeah, it looks absolutely insane. It's also very tall to keep the zombies away. Also, as some sign, lightning strikes struck my base, and I thought that this was actually the moment that I need to get a base going really quickly. Any big zombie hordes attack me. As a kind of continuation to my base, I did actually build it from red brick, and the red brick is actually really easy to come by in the city. And then also I did manage to fill the windows with glass, and that's because I live on a beach. That was the easiest thing to get the sand for the base. Either way, I do think the base does look pretty darn good for now, and I cannot wait for it to actually get better with time. I did finish building the base, and to my surprise, I did actually make it a 2-story house. On top of it, the windows look out into the ocean, and that way I can actually relax amid the zombie apocalypse. I also got some chairs and some furniture from chests and also nearby buildings. The first floor is a little bit emptier. I'm still gonna fill it up, but I do have a chest room, a furnace kind of area, and the base is amazing. After some time mining, I did eventually encounter diamonds, and I can actually use these diamonds to craft myself a pickaxe or a sword, because I still have that wooden sword from the very day one. The wooden sword is my lucky charm now, but I think I'm gonna switch it out in the near future for a diamond one, seeing as I have enough already. Either way, I just continued mining everything that I could, all the materials, because I might need them, all of them, in the near future to craft my base, my turrets, my defense systems, and many more things. When I got back to my house, I was actually really happy with myself because I did go mining and I did actually collect a lot more materials that I can use to craft more ammunition for my weapons that I did deplete while defending this base, and also resources that I itself wasted on this base, like shovels and axes. But most importantly, I did craft myself a pickaxe, the one, the only, the diamond pick. Finally. This is a huge upgrade for me because all this time I've been running around with a literal wooden sword and an iron pickaxe, along with iron armor. If I just get a little bit more diamonds, I can actually get myself a diamond chest piece and a full armor set, and then enhance them with a netherite. This is going to be actually one of the first nights that I spend sleeping inside of this base, and that is going to be a wonderful experience. I did sleep in the mines and also outside while building this base, but never once before inside the base on this bed. So it's about time that I hit the sack and let's test this baby out. Walking around the city, I did also stumble upon a restaurant, and just like any restaurant, you'd think they'd have like a shotgun, but nope, this restaurant had an AK-47. That's right, an AK-47 inside of this restaurant. I quickly picked it up, and I'm pretty happy because this is a second automatic rifle that I can use. I equipped a suppressor on it, and I will test out how it shoots in the near future. Right now, I was really happy that I did find it because it's a second automatic rifle that I can actually use to kill all the zombies that are a threat to me. Plus, this also means that I have another extra gun on my hands. No reloading, no ammunition problems, no nothing. You just equip the second gun and go mayhem. I decided to check out a stadium also nearby, and the stadium actually had literal seats for human beings, and it was absolutely insane how many people once sat here enjoying a game. Football, baseball, anything of that sort. But now there's only zombies on the fields, zombies in the podium. It was crazy. The world has changed with the zombie apocalypse, and it was such a sad state. But either way, I do have high hopes for a serum and maybe even some friends along the way that can help me survive in this world and make the best of it and have the best possible fun that I can. This open terrain is also filled with glass all around for maybe security reasons. Flat ground means zombies can spawn in. Luckily, I did not encounter any zombie hordes yet, but I'm sure they are somewhere here. To my surprise, I did actually decide to take a U-turn and go to the underground levels instead of the upper levels to like kind of not meet the zombie hordes on the top. But that was a mistake because the zombie hordes are still spawning in underground, but on top of it, a skeleton king. a third skeleton king, but I did manage to get him down very quickly with my AK-47. Thankfully, the zombie hordes he commanded did not cause any threat to me because I was so well equipped with guns, and also because he's not in close proximity, it was so easy to get rid of him because I do have a long distance guns and he's not able to hit me over such a long distance. He did drop some good loot, some crowns, and of course his usual hammer, or mace you could call it. When I got back to my base, I did actually decide to put all the loot that I scavenged inside the chests, and they are getting pretty filled up quickly. So I hope it's gonna be enough with them, couple of the chests that I have right now, and I won't need to put more chests. But either way, I think it was a good day today. I found a new gun, and this gun turned out to be really good. It's really strong. I think it does actually quite a bit more damage than the M6, or maybe it was just my feeling of it with the recoil difference. But either way, I love my two new guns, and it's about time that I go to sleep. And coming into a random house, I did actually find a chest, and inside the chest there was a grenade and a scope. This scope I can actually use on my AK-47, so that's right, this is a second scope I can use on my second gun, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. The AK is my new favorite gun from now on. This ACOG looks insane on it. As I continued going forth and exploring everything that I could, I did actually find one good thing, and that's a quad bike. This quad bike did have fuel inside of it, which was super amazing. I picked it up, and turns out I'm gonna have a whole vehicle park on my base, because I have a lot of vehicles now. Finally, I got back home, and my base is actually super amazing, but what's more amazing is this quad bike. This quad bike is actually super quick, as smooth as it increases speed and goes like drive smoothly, as good it is at actually climbing blocks and actually driving on rough terrain. It's a super amazing vehicle, and I'm really happy that I actually found it. I'm gonna fill it up with fuel, and now I have two vehicles. It's super amazing. After I got back home, I did decide to actually go into the mine and mine some more, and my best find was actually some obsidian. I'm really lucky that I found obsidian because I will use the obsidian to actually craft a nether portal and finally upgrade my loot. That's right, I don't think I'm powerful enough. I need more obsidian, and I need better loot, and that means we need netherite. Netherite ingots are gonna be really hard to come by, but I will do it, and we will actually upgrade our armor set to like the super level armor set. It's gonna be the strongest in the game. So I did finally get back home, and I did decide to actually smelt everything that I found. I found quite a bit of resources, and most importantly again, obsidian. I will craft a nether portal in the near future and go into the nether, because for that I need literal materials to upgrade my armor. If I'm gonna survive a zombie horde of even bigger calibers than I've seen, I need way better armor, and I need way better protection. On the gun front, I am doing pretty good. I have really good guns, but I just need that tiny little armor upgrade. I even lost track of time while I was in the mines. A lot more time actually went by than I was expecting, and now it's dark time, and I also need to sleep the night. But nevertheless, I do have a plan, and I'm gonna equip my base with some defense systems in the next day. I think that's my next step. I also built a slight little tunnel down into the nether portal. I know it's crazy with the attention detail, but I am doing this because I really want to keep my base kind of secure and also pretty, and this nether portal is not pretty. That's why I actually placed it underneath the ground, underneath my base in this kind of place here, and it's absolutely amazing. The nether is actually as dangerous as the overworld. Yes, zombies don't spawn in here because it's the nether, but there are zombie pigmen, so it's not all that safe, and I really do have to watch my back at all times, but nevertheless, I do have my trusty weapons with me to help me out on any point or occasion that I do have. As I was making my way back to the portal, I did get what I came here for, and that is ancient debris. Ancient debris is actually what I need, and that's the main material I came here for. Yes, I did also came here to collect some potion things, but the ancient debris is what I'm gonna actually smelt in the furnace, and I will use it to craft myself some netherite ingots, infused with gold, of course. That's how you craft netherite ingots. And I will actually use the smithing table to enhance my gear. That's right, the diamond gear can actually be a lot stronger than it is. So diamond can be upgraded into netherite. But for netherite gear, you need the literal diamond pieces. I only have one diamond piece, I think, or even less, so that's gonna be quite an unfortunate thing. I'm gonna have to go mine even more diamonds down in the mines, but it's gonna take me a while, and I will. But before leaving the nether, who can say no to some glowstone? I got some glowstone because I will actually put it inside of my base, and it will look really pretty. The glowstone will shine brighter than any torch that I can actually get in the overworld, and that is primarily the biggest reason why people love glowstones so much. It's unfortunate that most pieces are falling into the lava as I collect them, but either way, I'm gonna get all of them, and then I'm gonna get back to the base and have my base look really bright and really pretty from now on. As I was making my way back to the portal, I did encounter some mobs right beside the portal. I did expect this thing to happen, that they would be waiting for me before I got back, but here we are. Luckily, I do have my weapons with me, so they cause minimal threat, especially nothing on the like of zombies in the overworld. My trip was actually a really good success, and that's primarily because I did actually get the ancient debris. That's the actual resource I was going for, and I got just enough for, I believe, a couple of ingots, and I will use them to enchant my diamond gear and my diamond tools right away, and I'm gonna become really strong with that. As this day is coming to an end, I am realizing that I did actually spend quite a bit of ammo in the nether, and that means I'm gonna have to actually craft a lot more ammunition when I get the chance to. Of course, I will need the resources, which I lack at the moment, so I think another mining expedition in the meantime will actually be necessary. And as the next morning struck, I did decide to actually finish off upgrading my armor. That means I finally got the netherite scraps, and now I can finally craft netherite ingots, which I can upgrade my armor with. I also need to craft some ammunition for my gun, because today is going to be a pretty difficult day, and I need all the loot that I can get. So that means also upgrading my diamond sword and diamond pickaxe if I can. While searching for more loot inside of the houses, I did actually stumble upon a house which had dynamite inside of it. I got scared pretty quickly, but then it didn't explode, so I thought it was all good. I also checked the chest, and inside the chest there was some good loot. Inside the chest was a diamond chest piece, a smithing table, and also some food. This is really good because now I can use the diamond armor piece, my diamond sword, and also the smithing table with the netherite ingot to enhance them to an increasingly OP level. This is actually a really good find because the smithing table, I can use it to enhance all of my loot. The diamond sword, the pickaxe, the future diamond armor set. All I need now is actually maybe to go back to the nether in the near future and get even more netherite ingots, because I don't have enough for a full set just as of yet. Finally, the time has come. I was working so hard on this, and I can actually enhance my gear now. So I enhanced, of course, the diamond chest piece, the pickaxe, and also the diamond sword. And yeah, I'm a full netherite fledged out adventurer now. Look at me. I look absolutely amazing. No zombie can stop me now because I'm really strong now. This is actually the most OP armor in the game, so it better be good. So to quickly test out the sword, I decided to kill a few zombies, and I did notice that the damage was actually really good. But on top of the damage, I think the health of the sword is very long. That means I can actually fight the mutant zombies for long periods of time, because they get up and then you have to kill them a few times, and that kind of wears down the normal swords. But this sword, it's gonna have a blast with it. But these regular zombies are no threat at all. So after scavenging for quite some time, I did also stumble upon a chest with a golden apple and also a Springfield 1903, which is actually a really old gun, and I got 12 shots for it, which is super amazing. Hopefully it does a lot of damage and it's gonna take down the mutant zombies quite quickly. This was just one of the good things that I did find upon scavenging the city. Inside the city, I found a market of some sort, and inside there was nobody, but then I did hear a sound, and as I peek over, there's a whole horde of zombies coming at me, so this seems it was a trap, and I did actually have to use my Springfield to shoot and kill the zombies, and yeah, it was really, really dangerous, and I got really close to dying. The Springfield was a really good weapon. It absolutely one-shotted most of the zombies, even the grave robbers. After all, I was really good geared, and I did enjoy killing all of these zombies. Although this was a difficult situation and I could have died easily. It was finally time to go back to the base. I wasn't there in a very long time, and finally I could go back with extra equipment to put in my chest and stack up on just supplies. I also can't even imagine how long the journey would take if I was on food, because my base is actually really far away from the middle of the city. So finding a vehicle was actually a really, really lucky find, and I'm really happy that I did. Finally, I get to sleep back on my own bed, and it's actually really comforting, and I feel safe finally back home, because my base is safe and I did make it secure, and sleeping just on random beds, just random days in the middle of the city is not a very good feeling, especially with so many zombies nearby. Waking up the next morning, I did also notice some zombies lurking beside my base in the distance, and I did decide that it was maybe time to test out the Springfield in the distance. How good of a sniper is it? And I was actually surprised this sniper did still one-shot the zombies, which was absolutely amazing. The zombies stand no chance, and this beach area is completely fortified and protected by the one and only Frosty Max. Seeing as the outside was safe, I did decide to actually go ahead and try and collect whatever the zombie dropped, but the zombie dropped only parasites to my luck. And I quickly got attacked by another zombie, but I did manage to kill him with one of my shotgun shots. When I was walking around, I did stumble upon a jet ski, and to my luck, the jet ski had a lot of fuel nearby. I'm not sure if it just spawned in, or kind of maybe the waves got it here, but either way, the jet ski did spawn in, and I did actually drive it. I now have a water vehicle, and that will allow me to actually travel the world a lot quicker than by land, because on water, I can actually cut a lot of buildings and a lot of land off. I traveled for quite some time, and I did make it back to my base, but for a little travel secret, the jet ski is actually a lot safer than any ground vehicle. And that is because the jet ski does travel on water, and that means you can go around any zombies and you don't have to even fight them, interfere with them by any means. With a jet ski, I can travel the world and also conserve my ammunition for real dangerous moments without wasting it on random zombies. I spent a long time thinking on what dock I should build for my boat and where to actually park it, and I did come up with this kind of design. I did actually spend too much time on it, considering I only have one vehicle, and that is the jet ski, but now it does have its own dock and it's super amazing. I'm super happy with how it turned out, and my base is actually getting along pretty nicely. The base itself is absolutely amazing, and it even has a dock now. By using the jet ski, I did actually stumble upon a dock on the open waters, and the dock was absolutely filled to brim with zombies. The zombies did pose a high threat this time, and that is because of their variety. There were smokers, witches, undead, unburied, whatever, grave diggers. It was absolutely insane, but I did decide to actually shoot them and protect myself, and this time my guns barely helped me, because this was a very close call. Such a close call, I did nearly run out of ammunition, and I did decide to actually jump onto a boat to save myself from the undead that just wouldn't stop coming after me. Inside the ship, I did decide to regen my health and also check out some loot that could be stored nearby by the sailors, and to my kind of surprise, there was a chest with piranhas. I'm not sure what the piranhas are, but the piranhas in the bucket were actually pretty crazy. I did not expect to find that. I did also find a weird helmet, but I did fail to put it on, and that is because I really want to keep my old helmet, but this helmet actually goes into the special inventory. As I got back on my jet ski, I did actually decide to go back home, and that is primarily because I was done here. The zombie hordes are way too big for me to handle, especially with my ammo supply. I'm gonna need a bigger gun if I might have to take on a horde of that size. All the road back, I was thinking about how I nearly died, but also how did this piranha survive in that forgotten boat? That boat must have been left alone for like at least a year in the zombie apocalypse, if not like from the very start of the apocalypse. And the fact that the fish still survived in that bucket in that chest, it's amazing. But either way, I'm back home now. I also spent a long time thinking on what I should do with the piranha fish, but then I did decide to actually make like an aquarium of some sort right beside my base, and there we go. For the future, if I get a little bit more fishies of some sorts, maybe like a clownfish you could say, I'll put it in and then we're gonna see how they're gonna live together. But something tells me that this piranha fish is actually really dangerous. I also finally remembered that I did pick up some glowstone, and yeah, I used the glowstone all around the base. I put some glowstone in my fish's aquarium, on my dock, and also my fence and inside of my base. The base is actually very well lit because of the torches, but I did decide to actually place even more light around it because you can never have enough light. Plus, I believe it will make so that the zombies don't spawn in the vicinity, so you can never have enough light really, especially in the zombie apocalypse. I also woke up in the middle of the night, and I think it's because of the Skeleton King who spawned in again. So this guy just won't leave me alone. He follows me to every corner of the map. Wherever I go, he just spawns in and he waits for me there. He also spawns in huge zombie hordes. But either way, I did actually use all of my guns and weapons and equipment that I did collect throughout all of this time to battle off the huge zombie horde, which was a really big fight. The zombies just didn't stop coming. There were so many of them, I couldn't even see where I was. Luckily, my base is actually 2 stories, so that means I can actually use my ACOG and also my scoped rifles and my cool guns to actually shoot the zombies from up above, and they can't even get past the gate. If this was a different zombie apocalypse where they can actually break blocks, I would be in total danger. But this seems a little bit safer. Yes, the zombies themselves are really strong and do cause a lot more threat than regular zombies, but yeah, this is actually a little bit better than zombies who can literally break blocks. These zombies cannot break blocks, so even a little fence like this cannot let them through. The Skeleton King, although, he did make a hole inside of my base, and that was absolutely devastating. I thought I had to leave the base for a second, but no, I continued fighting on, and in the end, of course, as you can guess, I did defeat him. The Skeleton King dropped his chest as always, and inside of it there were some really good loot. But this time he also dropped a literal piranha launcher, so I'm not sure if that's... This time he also dropped a literal piranha launcher. I know what this is, but you guys are gonna have to wait and see how cool this weapon that he dropped is, especially with the fishies that I found. An attack of this caliber by the zombies did actually make me scared, because I thought the Skeleton King literally blew up with his mace or hammer or whatever. He broke my fence, and he practically nearly let the zombies in, although I did kill all of them. So I did actually think that I was gonna have to upgrade my fence and base the fences a little bit more after this night. Today's day was quite troubling. I did manage to fix up the hole in the fence quite quickly from the Skeleton King, so I was safe again. But yes, I will have to actually reinforce my base defenses once again if I'm to survive another 100 days. But this is it for this video. This is day 100, guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's been me as always, and I really do hope that you did enjoy the zombie apocalypse video. Let me know down in the comments if you want a part 2, and if you will, let me know that you want a part 2. I might even invite some friends to play along with me. 200 days, guys. If you want it, let me know, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again, as always, in the next video.